virtual sheet music people, Austin has written in asking for help with the Havanaise, and it's specifically the 10th passage starting at measure 273. He says that as he's doing the descending passage starting in measure 279, that he loses his sense of pitch as he's coming down, and wanted to know if I had any ideas on how to help that. And let's try and talk that through. Okay, so tenths are obviously extremely challenging because of the space, the distance of the reach, the large hand position required, and they can hurt your hand if you study them too much, too long every day. So one thing you can do actually to just get used to hearing the pitches would be to practice in thirds. So if you look at measure 273 on beat 2, your tenths are, the lower note is a B and the top note is a D. So B to D is an octave and a third. So you could also just play B to D, but have that top note be an octave lower. So what you could do is start on beat 2, that B played on the D string in third position with the third finger, and then play a D with your first finger on the top note. This is just to train your ear to hear these intervals. And you could work on that. It's great for your thirds also. The neat thing about this passage is that I think it's a little easier to start here than, say, the Bruch Concerto third movement with the tenths, because these tenths are all the same distance apart, meaning you don't have shifts where one finger is moving in a whole step and one is moving in a half step. That is complicated. These are all the same pattern as you move up and down. The thing that's hard, clearly hard, is that as you go higher, they get closer together. As a rule, all your notes do, right? And then as you come back down, you have to open that hand frame back up. So you need to know what it is that you're listening for. So I recommend ear training. Anyway, let's try, we won't do the whole thing, but let's do the bottom note only. And what I want you to do is look for notes that match open strings. So you have D there. You have E there. And I want you to practice finding those open strings and feeling the resonance. Do that with the upper notes too. Then when you start to put your tenths together, you know, it's recommended that you start with the higher note and reach back. So in this situation, if you look at 272, what are we doing? Now it's pretty darn quick from beat 1 to beat 2. You're not going to have a lot of time, but what you can do is bring your wrist in a little bit to help your 4. Or you can literally go to second position and reach back like that. I find that harder because then I have to sort of take my 1 off the string. And it's already down, so I don't have to find it. So I think it's easier for me to leave 1 down, bring the wrist in, and drop to 4. But when you're practicing it right now, get your top D and then bring your thumb under. This is really important that you keep your thumb under the neck, because this is a much more relaxed type of stretch than this. See here? So if I put my thumb under and get my 4 down first, it's pretty easy on the hand. You won't feel a tremendous strain here. So you have to practice without hurting yourself. That's the goal. Okay, so now let's go back to the beginning of this thing and play them as tenths and find open strings. Alright, so I want you to do that. And do it all the way up, do it all the way down. So go to 279. And this is where it says piano in my part, and we start our descending passage. Right there, matches opening. right there, open D. Here, you really have to feel the space. Your hand has to really open up. Okay, at this point you're ready to start doing it with the bow stroke. So let's try this motion here. I'm doing mostly from the wrist. And piano. Open the hand. Okay, so were you able to follow? Try that yourself, and then you'll have to increase the speed to be able to play. So there's some ideas of how to work on these tenths. I hope that helps. Good luck.